Good morning. I'm Donnie from Cape and Coast Bank, and I'm here today with Mike Lewis and Shaun Lewis, owners of Seafood Sam's in Falmouth. How did this come to be? How did you guys end up here at Seafood Sam's in Falmouth?
I got a job washing dishes at a hotel in Falmouth that is still there. It's called the Admiralty now, but it was called the Executive back then. My brother was a year older than me, worked there as well, so he was probably 13.
Okay.
Sam, the infamous Seafood Sam, was a chef, local chef. He was a chef at the Falmouth Playhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to come in there because he was a chef there for years. So you know how restaurant business works.
Sure.
Chefs go in and they come in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happened the hotel was selling. And he said he was opening up a clam shack in East Falmouth. And cut your hair, come see me tomorrow, and we'll talk. I was not 12.
No kidding.
Rode my bike to the barbershop, cut my hair, rode and saw him up in East Falmouth. That was 51 years ago. He always kept promising us, keep doing the right thing, you'll be manager, you'll be this, you'll be that, the steps. He kept the steps in line. So in the height of my restaurant learning, they had 12 restaurants. They had 7 of a chain called Lobster Hut and 5 Seafood Sam's. We bought this store in 1990 and opened it in 91. Sam, right from the gate, said the place was in bankruptcy and it was needed a ton of work.
Mm-hmm.
He said, here's the deal. We're going to be partners. I'll put up the money. You do all the work. My 2 little kids, everybody knows how it is. You're just getting by. And then comes this opportunity. But as a pretty much homeless kid, my childhood, I knew right then and there, this is my one shot. Opened in May of 1991, and I worked 7 days a week, 13 hours a day for 6 years. The end of 95, Sam came to us and said, he was in his 70s.
Okay.
I'm tired and I'm done. He just magically made it happen. And I was 28 years old without a savings account. I'd already sold everything I had. And this property was the only one that had a note on it out of the 6. So he signed deals with 3 of us to buy the 6. Me, my brother, and Sam's daughter bought 3.
Okay.
He sold me it for what we paid for it at auction.
Wow.
And not only did he do that, he financed it. And gave me a 15-year note and walked away.
Unbelievable. I love
and
it.
It makes me teary-eyed now. And then he would just come by and
See how
do his
things are
little
going.
check. And he couldn't have been, like this room we're in right now was an outside deck at the time.
Was it a situation where he would walk in and everybody kind of was like,
Yeah, you're scared.
100%.
you know,
Yeah, you're
like,
scared.
he was scared, almost
You're
like he's coming to see how
but
you're
the
doing
funny
things.
thing,
of course.
the funny thing is,
Take out a checklist.
the funny thing is, even I was scared.
Yeah.
And there was nothing he could do about it. He was an intimidating guy.
I love
And
it.
but he thrived for my success.
Yeah. That deep history here, all that training you went through from the time you were 12, 13 years old, how much of that training has now been kind of, reproduced to bring Shaun?
I would say 100% without the intimidation factor.
Without the intimidation.
So for instance, Shaun grew up here. We lived here. He used to walk.
When did Shaun first start working here?
I started bussing tables here probably 11 years old.
11 years old.
But by that time, I'm very comfortable. I mean, this is my
home.
This is my
Home
playground.
away.
I grew up across the
Yeah.
street. Quite literally, the majority of my childhood memories are here. And so, I mean, when you start as a kid and you come and you wipe the table and you do what you're supposed to do, I started taking an interest probably mid-late teens, and that's when I can start watching it and seeing, well, that didn't work out great, or that was super successful. So I've learned a ton just being able to watch him come up in the business because I'm just the tag along taking notes, and I can see what works, what doesn't work, what thrives, what doesn't.
So what are your go-to items that you like to eat? And tell me a little bit about what are the most popular items here at Seafood Sam's.
Okay, I'll go first and you go.
Sounds good.
So I think I'm a chicken guy, which is kind of funny, but like chicken parm, you can't believe how much, like chicken parm's a thing here, which is kind of crazy, but ton of them. My favorite thing. The biggest things we sell are probably lobster salad rolls, fried haddock plate, and then we have a fried seafood platter for two. Those are clearly our three biggest sellers every year, I think. We still do everything
In-house.
in-house. We grind the coleslaw every single day. Nobody does that. We grind the carrots for the coleslaw every single day. We make tartar sauce homemade every single day. We hand cut onion rings every single day.
So I dabble in everything. Chicken's obviously a high one. I like the fish. I like shrimp. We make a great burger here. So I'm all across the board.
Tell them about your specials that you've been.
Yeah, so I last year introduced, I'm doing a weekly special. I run it Friday to Friday, and it kind of gave me an opportunity to get a little creative in the kitchen and be a little bit outside the box of what we normally do day to day here. So I get to introduce some things that you normally might not find at Seafood Sam's.
Okay.
You know, from seared scallops, I'm doing different scampies and things like that, and things that aren't necessarily seafood, chicken and waffles. So, you know, it's fun for me to be able to try and play around in the kitchen and get creative.
Tell me about this new item on the menu and what you guys are doing with that.
So I'm a wing guy myself. I'm always looking to try wings wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
So over the winter, me, my father, my uncle, and my cousin played around with some bone-in wings, different flavors, dry rub, sauces, and I instantly knew this was going to be a hit. So we've brought it in last weekend. We did all half off just to kind of get it out to the general public, let them try it for a cheap price. And I knew it was a solid product and it was going to work. So yeah, we are Seafood Sam's, but we sell a ton of chicken.
And I'm pretty sure I saw on social that there was a certain point in the weekend that you guys sold out.
Yep. So sandwich over 2 days moved somewhere in the ballpark of 5,000 wings.
Wow.
Which is pretty remarkable for a
And almost
seafood
almost 3,000 here.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
in
awesome.
2 days.
Yeah.
And on a crappy weekend.
Yeah. So if you're going out to dinner and you're bringing friends and you have a friend that's like, I don't eat seafood, that doesn't apply anymore. There really is something here for everyone. Tell us a little bit about how, you know, we're so happy to support a family-owned, you know, restaurant. You know, going back to when you know, before your teenage years getting started, you starting at 13, your son being involved, it makes, you know, our relationship that much more meaningful to hear those stories. Tell me a little bit about how Cape and Coast has been able to support you during this process.
Well, it's easy for me. I have had 2 banks in 39 years. And the funny thing is, I followed my commercial lender to when it was Cooperative Bank.
Right.
So I basically have had one banker before my good friend Donnie. And you know,
So much pressure.
I've actually had 2 because I had Bob Carey for a while.
Right. And he's
but
still in the mix. He's
yeah.
still a member of your team.
And no, he's a great guy. But for me personally, you know, and again, had some struggles through business, like every seasonal business. You know, there's been times my need was really high, and there's been times I have no need. Cape and Coast has had my back, and I mean that sincerely. From, you know, you close, and I was talked earlier about the winters are tough. Even if you do huge sales, we do a lot of volume.
Yeah.
If you have a business on the Cape, February you're broke. I don't care who you are. It's just the nature of our environment. And, you know, from credit line to hearing my needs about expansion or hearing my needs about a refinance for addition, they've always listened. It's been a great relationship for me. And the cool thing about Shaun is when I brought Shaun up to being my partner in here with the real estate and the business, I brought him around and introduced him to everybody, you included, the president of your bank at the meet and greet. And it's not scaring anybody away. Everybody gets it. When you're small enough, you know, and The big banks aren't going to get that. The big, huge, across the country banks aren't going to get
We
that.
really appreciate that. We're so proud that we've been able to be that for you. We hope to be it for you too,
100%.
Shaun, and we hope to continue this relationship for a long
100%.
time. We thank you so much for the business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Friends.